Hello everyone, this is Rajiv Kohli and welcome back to our channel The Teacher. And in this tutorial I will talk about the tab key that is available on your keyboard on top of the caps lock key, and you can take a look carefully that it has two arrows, one pointing to the left and another pointing to the right. So this is the most useful key when you work inside documents or Excel workbook or any other text editing software. So let me explain to you the use of tab key and with the shift tab key and the control tab key. So in Microsoft Word, if you press the tab key, then it leaves some space, but how much space? Then you must remember that it always will by default leave a space of half an inch, and if you continue to press the tab key, then it will continue to add a space of half inch. And if you turn on show and hide paragraph mark option here, then you can also find all the paragraph marks that you have inserted into your document. So the next thing is why the default setting is half inch, and can you change that? Yes, you can surely change that, and you can find that setting inside the paragraph section of the home tab. And if you click this paragraph setting button at the bottom right corner of paragraph section, then you will come up with all the paragraph and line and page break settings along with the tab settings. And if you click on this button, then you will find the tab settings that you can apply inside your documents. And here you will find the default tab stop that is by default set to half inch for all the new documents if you have not changed your normal document template. So let's say if I set it to 2 inches and click the OK button, now inside this document, if I will press the tab key now, then it will leave 2-inch space by default. However, if you don't want the default behavior, then you can also configure the tabs inside Microsoft Word document, and I have created a dedicated video on tabs. You can go and watch that. I will put a link into the description and in the cards. And by the way, if you want to set the left tab, then here you can see that the type of tab is already set to left by default. However, you can click on these icons and then can change the type of the tab that you want. I will just tell you about the left tab for an example, and instead of 2 inches default tab stop setting, let's say I want my first tab to be here and the second tab to be here. Then I can now press the tab key to move at the particular tab point. So let's say I write amount here, so that way you can easily. So do remember the importance of this show hide paragraph mark. As you can see that it will tell you that what are you doing inside your document where you are adding line breaks. This paragraph mark is showing the line break when you press the enter key, and this is for tab. And if you add a space, then you will get this dot sign in the middle and center of the words. This indicates a space, and if you add double space, then immediately you get a blue underline below the words, because that is a grammatical mistake. So I have to remove this extra space. The tabs also give you the ability to change them as you want, even after you have typed the entire list by specifying these 2 points. But if you want to later change the position, then you can select the entire list again, and do remember that your selection must be proper selection, that you have started the tabs from this line and you have typed up to that point. So after selecting the text, you can drag and drop where you want, and if you want to remove the tab, just drag and drop inside the document. That way it will remove the setting that you have defined for that particular tab. Instead it will add a default tab space, the default tab space of 2 inches. So here you can see how this arrow is indicating the remaining space between these two words. If I continue to write more words, then you can see that the arrow has started moving to the right, and let's say I add few more words, then when it will cover the entire space, the tab will, let me turn off the insert mode and show you again. You can see that when I covered the entire space between the tab, then it added 2 inches further and moved the text. So here I can press the tab key again, and you can see that it added the default tab of 2 inches because I have removed that. So another thing is, the tab is also useful inside the tables, and that is where you will come to know tab, the left arrow, why, when and how it is used. So when you are working inside the table, and let's say I type a few headings here, subjects, roll number, remarks. So here you can use the shift tab key instead of using the left arrow key. So you can see the difference. If I use left and right arrow keys, I have to move one character in a time, but instead if I press and hold down the shift key and then press the tab key, then you can see that it jumps a cell to the left. By only pressing the tab key, you jump a cell to the right, and if you hold down shift key, then you move backward one cell to the left. So the next thing is, if you are working with bullets and numbering, so in Microsoft Word, let's say I want to start a list here, a list of numbers. So what I do, I start typing the first number, 1 full stop. As soon as I will add a space, then it will automatically apply the numbering style to this list, and you can see that this button has turned on automatically, the numbering button in the home tab. And now if I start adding the numbers and pressing the enter keys, then you can see it will automatically add the numbering and will continue them. And here if I want to add a subpoint to this number 4, then I can just press the tab key. That will start a sublist for number 4, and here I can type like this, subpoint 1, subpoint 2, and if I want to move back to start 5th point, then I can press shift plus tab key. That is the another use of shift plus tab key when you are working with numbers or bullets. So if you are working with bullets, then you can do the same thing and you will see the same behavior as well. So I have pressed the tab key to start the sub list here, and will press, you can also press further tab keys to add more subpoints here. and then just press shift tab to move back. And if you don't want to add a subpoint here, then again press shift tab. And if you don't want to add the fifth point here, then you can press an extra enter key to stop the bullet list. Same way, if you want to start the numbering again, then move to the end of the last number and press the enter key. That way it will continue to add further numbers. Now let's say you want to add a heading here, then just press enter to stop the numbering list, add a heading, and then start from number 8, and it will automatically continue from that point. Another use of the tab key is also inside the table. So let's say inside the student name I want to write like this, first name, and inside the same column I want to apply the tab inside these cells here in the first column. In these 4 cells I want to add a tab, so I can add a tab from the ruler, and by chance if there is no ruler in your Microsoft Word, then it could be turned off from the view tab, and you can enable or disable right from here. So you can add tabs inside the tables as well, and for that what you have to do, you have to define the selection first up to what point you want to apply the tabs. Let's say I want to apply the tab in all these 4 cells of this first column, and I want to add a tab here at this point. So how you will use the tab settings inside a table? Because if you will press the tab key alone, then it will move to the next cell, and if you will press shift tab, then it will move back to the left cell. So how I will use the tab key? And for that you just have to press Ctrl plus tab key, and that way you can use tabs inside the table. Ctrl plus tab after defining the tab. So here I have defined 2 tabs. You can see I can also remove this tab by selecting these cells and just drag and drop at the document. And now I can press Rajiv. After typing Rajiv, Ctrl plus tab key. So that way you can easily use tabs inside the table as well. So that is how the tab key is so useful with the shift and control keys combinations. The another use of the tab key is when you open some dialog boxes, like I press Ctrl O, and when any of the dialog box is open and you are presented with options and tabs and buttons, then you can press the tab key to move between these options, and you can also use the arrow keys to move between the options, and you can press space key or the enter key to open an option. And now in this dialog box you can also press the tab key to move through the items. And another use of the tab key is inside a web browser where you have multiple tabs open. Then you can press Ctrl tab key to move between the tabs. You can also press the Ctrl shift and tab key to reverse backward, Ctrl tab to move forward, and Ctrl shift tab key to move backward. Another thing is that if a dialog box is open and you want to press a button, like let's say I want to name this file as file2, and now I wanted to press the save button, then the another shortcut is you can hold down the alt key and can press the underline character that is highlighted. For the save we have alt S, and now if I will press alt S, then I don't have to move through the tabs by pressing the tab key. I can directly press Alt plus S key to press the save button. Let me show you one more thing, that let's say I again open this browse window and I want to open that tools drop down menu. Then I can press Alt plus L key, and then you can see that the focus has changed to that drop down list, and now I can press the down arrow key to open that list. Another use of the tab key is inside Windows. When you are working with multiple applications, you can see in the taskbar that I have opened many applications, and if I wanted to switch between these applications, then I can hold down the Alt key and then I can press the tab key once without leaving the Alt key. That way you will presented with this window, and you can then continue start pressing the tab key while holding the Alt key to switch between the windows. And then at particular window where you want to move, you can release the Alt key, and that window is on another monitor. Let me show you, and let me do that again. Alt, hold down the Alt key and then start pressing the tab key. Let's say I want to move to the task manager. I can now release the Alt key, and you can also make Alt tab between two applications. Like I want to switch between only the PowerPoint and Visual Studio, so I first focus on this PowerPoint application, and now I hold down the Alt key and then start pressing the tab key, and here at Visual Studio I will leave the Alt key. Now if I start pressing Alt tab once and again, then I can switch between those two applications. As if you are working like something this Visual Studio application where you also have tabs for different classes, then you can also press the Control and Tab key. You can hold down the Control key and then start pressing the Tab key, and you can then release the Control key to the class where you want to move. In Microsoft Windows, I think in Windows 8 and no, it's also available in Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10 and Windows 11. That is, if you hold down the Start key from your keyboard and then start pressing the Tab key, then you can see that it will come up with this new desktop window, and you can also find out that button right here in the task pane. Let me show you. I have turned off that option. You can right click on taskbar and open taskbar setting, and here you will get this task view button. You can enable this option. That will bring a new button here, and if you press this button, then you also get the same window. You can also switch between the application through this keyboard shortcut as well, but that is for opening a new desktop. So let's say if you have filled one of your desktop with many applications, and now you wanted to work with other two applications that you don't want to mix up with all these opened applications, then you can create a new desktop here, and inside this desktop you can see that there is no open application in the taskbar, and here the application that you will open will remain separate from the desktop one.